Hi guys, so today I'm going to talk about cassette tapes. I've been seeing a lot of articles online recently which have been saying that people from my generation in particular have started buying cassettes again. And to be honest, I think that's pretty weird. Cassette tapes to me don't seem to have the same kind of appeal that something like vinyls have. And for me, when I buy vinyl, one of the main attractions for me is the size of a vinyl, that kind of physicality that you get from buying one. Often when I'm buying an album on vinyl, it's both for the music and for the artwork. You get to have this big piece of art that you can kind of look through, both in kind of the cover and sort of the back notes and the interiors of the vinyl. Also as well, I find that buying something on vinyl is kind of a sign that I really like an album. So I'm like, oh, this is one of the kind of best albums that I've listened to in a long time. I want to buy this. And I can't really see a reason to do the same thing with a tape. Tapes, comparatively, they're a lot smaller, but also I don't think the sound quality kind of has the same return that vinyl does. So when I'm listening to an album on record, obviously I've got the kind of broad spectrum of sound that vinyls kind of allow for, but also you've got that nice warm analog hiss that kind of makes the vinyl listening experience really nice. Whereas comparatively with tapes, everything's kind of at the subject of the player that you've got. And often with tapes, the noise kind of isn't the same sort of noise that I kind of like on vinyl. It feels less warm, it's a lot more hissy and scratchy. And with a tape, there's just so many more things that can kind of go wrong. It can get swallowed by a tape recorder, or the inner workings of the tape can just start kind of like rolling out and you have to kind of push them back in, or they can snap really easily. They're just not really as durable as vinyls. You could just drop a tape on the floor and stamp on it. You don't kind of have that same thing with vinyls or MP3s. And also I kind of just feel like this new kind of love for tapes just kind of comes from this weird thing with MP3s. People from my generation just seem to be like, oh, I'm not going to listen to music in MP3 anymore. I want this more authentic experience, which I don't really understand. So with MP3s, you get obviously really high quality music and there's such a vast array of stuff. I know, as a matter of fact, that if MP3s didn't exist, then I probably wouldn't listen to as much music as I do now. The sheer variety of things through like Spotify and iTunes and other streaming services kind of allows you to listen to so much more music. Like, imagine how much it would cost to buy tapes from all your favorite bands compared to, say, going on Spotify, going on Bandcamp, etc. So I really don't think kind of reifying tapes is necessarily a good thing. But why is this happening? I think one of the things that's kind of causing the whole cassette boom is to do with a kind of broader 80s nostalgia that's kind of going on at the moment. It seems like with the success of things like Stranger Things and Guardians of the Galaxy, that a lot of people are just sort of saying, oh, the 80s is awesome. I know, tapes were big then, I'll buy some cassettes. But I don't really see the point of this, especially when it's booming in my generation. I mean, I'm 23, nearly 24. I didn't grow up in the 80s. I have no actual nostalgia for it. I'm just kind of wanting to go back to the 80s because of the media that I've consumed that's kind of telling me that it was a better time. But also, I don't necessarily think this is inherently stupid, so to say. I think one of the strange things at the moment I find with technology, particularly with music, is how kind of oversaturated we are with it. So a couple of days ago, I saw Sigrid at the O2 Academy in Brixton, and there was this really bizarre moment that kind of happened where she was playing a really slow song, and then everyone just kind of like put their phones up in the air and started waving them like they were lighters, something you kind of see in a Journey music video about 20 years ago. And it just felt really bizarre to me. It felt as if technology was kind of overcoming the experience. I mean, the set design was all supposed to be like pitch black as she sung, but the whole room was lit up by these phones. And I kind of sat there and thought, Jesus Christ, like everyone's just attached to their phones now. It's all they ever do. And technology is kind of becoming more obtrusive. So maybe it's just the case that the people who are buying tapes aren't necessarily going, oh man, I wish I lived in the 80s. Maybe they're just kind of saying, oh man, I'm kind of fed up with all this high-speed technology all the time. Maybe it'd be good to kind of go back to a time when technology wasn't so prevalent. And I guess by maybe buying a tape, you're not taking a stand. I think that's kind of a lame thing to say, but you're kind of saying, hey, I don't need loads of MP3s. Maybe this tape can be more personal to me. Maybe I can customize it and just put my favorite songs on. It's not got that kind of ridiculous storage or infinite amount of music that the internet kind of gives you. So I think the point that I'm really just trying to get at here is that tapes are coming back, but I don't really understand why. I've tried to kind of think about why they might be coming back, but I don't really have a clear answer in my head. And so if you're watching this and you listen to music on tape, I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts about why you listen to them or why you think they're coming back. And equally, if like me, you don't really understand why tapes are coming back, let us know in the comments as well, because I'd love to discuss it with people because I'm genuinely confused by this phenomenon. So on that note, this has been this week's Full Fat Chat, and I will see you soon.
Thank you for watching this week's Full Fat Chat. If you'd like to see more from Full Fat Chat, why not subscribe? And if you'd like to see our video essays, retrospectives and movie pitches, why not go over to Full Fat Videos, our main channel. We'll see you next time. Stay milky.